Get ready to learn how to make a digital collage using a set of photos. I'll be using Tyler the Creator as inspiration for my art. Let's dive in and get started. Create a new document that is 16 by 20, resolution 300, and color mode is RGB. Fill the background with CB F3E7. Now open up your gold frame and use your rectangular marquee and remove all of the frames except this one. Now use your crop tool to crop your image so that it just fits the frame. And rename your layer. Convert it to a smart object and bring it over into your document. Rotate it and resize it. Now open up your sky image and convert it to a smart object and bring it over into your document. Place it underneath the gold frame layer. Now use your pen tool to create a selection so that we can mask away the outer parts of the cloud that extends past the gold frame. Now open up the Tyler image and rename your layer. Go up to select subject and delete the background. Now here I'm just cleaning up the selection. Now here I'm making a selection of only Tyler's head because I want to create a bobblehead effect. So on this layer, I will make a selection and I will copy it, delete this layer, and then paste it. Now for Tyler's shoulders, I will resize this layer. And then add a new layer and name it shadow. And here I will use a soft, dark brush to create a shadow around the neckline. And then here I will right click, create clipping mask, and change my opacity to 70%. Now I will convert these 3 layers to a smart object, rename this layer, and bring it over into my document. And again, resize this layer. Now here we're going to do some masking because I want the top portion to be on the outside of the frame, but the shoulders to be behind the gold frame. So here I create a mask on the Tyler layer and a selection from the gold frame layer, and use a soft paintbrush to mask away the lower part of his body. And then go up to select inverse to get this other part. Now on this Tyler layer, we will duplicate it and make this top layer invisible. On the original layer, we will add a camera raw filter. Change the temperature to -16. Vibrance will be 70. And now for under effects, we will change the texture to -100. Clarity will be 77. And grain will be 48. Now on the duplicated Tyler layer, make sure that one is now visible. And then also make sure your foreground and background is black and white. Now let's add a filter gallery. Select plastic wrap. And now add a new layer on top of plastic wrap, and we will select charcoal. So for charcoal thickness, change it to 3, and light dark balance will be 88. And click OK. Now place your duplicated Tyler layer within its own folder and rename this group. Now use the magnetic lasso tool to make a cutout of the eyes and the ears. And create a mask from it. Now open up your suitcase image, rename your layer, and go to select subject to get rid of the background. And then go to select inverse and delete the background. Now right click, convert to smart object, and bring it over into your document. Rotate your layer. And now make a selection from the gold frame, and again we are going to mask away part of the suitcase. Next, add a brightness and contrast layer above the suitcase, and then go to right, create clipping mask. Change the brightness to -72 and the contrast will be 66. Now open up the sunflower layer, rename your layer, and use the magnetic lasso tool again to make a selection of the sunflower. Create a mask, convert it to a smart object, and bring it over into your document. Now here I will right click, create clipping mask. And then here use my pen tool so that I can mask out this bottom portion so it seems as though the sunflower is within the suitcase. Now let's add a brightness and contrast layer and change the brightness to 71. And right click, create clipping mask. Now let's open up the B layer and go to select subject. And create a mask. And here I will use the rectangular marquee tool so that I can mask away these other bees that I will not be using. And then right click, convert to smart object, and bring it over into your document. Rotate it. So now I'm going to add some motion to the bee by going to filter, blur, motion blur, and change the angle to 36. And the distance will be 72. And here I will use a soft brush to bring some of the motion back in focus. Now open up our woman image. And here I will use a very rough selection with my pen tool. It does not have to be perfect, and I'm just going to make a selection. And then copy and paste it over. Now I'm going to open up my second Tyler image and do the same. Use my pen tool to make a selection. And copy and paste and resize it. Now open up the cloud image and bring it over into your document. resize it so that it's a bit smaller. And now double click this layer to add a drop shadow. The opacity will be 73 and the color will be 1817, 19. The distance will be 700 and the size will be 59. Now over in Adobe Illustrator, open up your ransom letters. And I will use these ransom letters to spell out "Call me if you get lost." And here I will copy and paste them over into my document. Now place the entire design within its own group and rename the group. Now add a gradient map. For the first color stop, change it to A38, F32. Change this layer to Pen Light. And now open up the film blur image. Resize it. And of course, right click, create clipping mask. And on the film blur image, change this to soft light. And now open up your texture image. Rotate it and resize it. Right click, create clipping mask, and change this layer to linear dodge add. And that is how you create a digital collage in Adobe Photoshop. If you enjoyed the tutorial, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.